We did the series and we just got done with it about a week ago. Who is the RB2 in the 2026 NFL draft class? Jonah Coleman, Mike Washington, Emmett Johnson, Jadarian Price, Nick Singleton. We talked through all of them on the channel. You can go find the mini series. We're now on to finding out who the wide receiver one is. That's a whole new series that we're doing, talking to Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lamb, Jordan Tyson, so on and so forth. Don't sleep on KC Concepcion. I'm Cody Carpentier with the Draft Ranking Show. We're back for a small one today, talking through the top 10 running backs in the 2026 NFL draft class. Please click that like button. Please click subscribe. We're here every single day of the week, 7 p.m. Eastern time on the YouTube channel, then on podcast, wherever you do get your podcast. Just type in the Draft Ranking Show. Appreciate you guys for locking in. We're going to start out with one of my favorite non-top 10 running backs. And that's going to be a guy that, I wasn't the biggest in on early. My guy, Matty Kiwoom, is. That's Kalen Black. Kalen Black, by way of James Madison to Indiana, 5'0", 208 comes in. He's older. He's 25 years old in 2026. But I think Kalen Black is maybe the most interesting guy outside the top 10 that I see could potentially create a role for himself in the NFL. Number 10. Let's get it started here. One that not a lot of people in the space have at number 10. I like myself some C.J. Donaldson. He ran fast enough at 230 pounds at 6'2" that I'm there. I'm in on it. I'm cool with it. C.J. Donaldson, by way of West Virginia, was at Ohio State this last year, playing in that backfield. James Peoples, Bo Jackson, and 6'02", 230, like I said, ran a 4.66, kind of what we projected him towards. And I think he's good enough. Broke out at age 19.25 at West Virginia. I'm a big fan of C.J. Donaldson. I just think not saying he's going to become like Jerome Bettis, but I think that there's a role for him in the NFL as a goal line back, as a guy that's going to get some opportunities. Again, we don't love the depth of this class overall. Number 9, this is one I think I could see moving up a little bit further, but right now, and as we close in the last month of the draft, I have Adam Randall at number 9. I'm a massive Adam Randall fan. I just like it's more of a projection play than anything with Adam Randall. 6'3", 232 pounds. He ran a 4.5 flat. 4.5 flat. He's obviously got the pass catching chops. He's a former wide receiver at Clemson, transitioned to running back in 2025. Like, he hasn't been a running back for a calendar year yet. And the amount he grew in one season, graduated in 3 years from Clemson. This is a very bright young man. I think there's an argument you could say to get him all the way up, I think, to number 6 in this class. Number 8, Le'Veon Moss from Texas A&M. He's dealt with a lot of injuries in his time at Texas A&M. He came in at 5'11", 203 pounds, didn't run. He'll be 24 years old. I'll be honest with you, while I'm talking through it, I kind of want to put Adam Randall ahead of him right now. Number 7, Katron Allen. He was the 1B to the 1A of Nick Singleton, or the 1A to the 1B of Nick Singleton in 2025 for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Katron Allen's impressive, 219 pounds, 6 foot tall. He's a bowling ball of a back, and he took on this last year, 210 carries, had 1,300 yards from scrimmage, 15 touchdowns. He was responsible for 31% of the team's total production in 2025, which is the third most in the draft class behind Emmett Johnson and Jeremiah Love. And, of course, that is with Nick Singleton in that same backfield. Nick Singleton took on 22% himself. The comp I came away with for Katron is some kind of mixture of Cam Akers and Kareem Hunt. Next up, we're going to go number 6, Jonah Coleman from Washington. This is one a year ago. Like, he was pretty much the consensus RB2. Adam Muhammad came in, actually looked like the better back this last year at Washington. Interestingly enough, Jonah Coleman, 5'08 flat, 220 on the shorter end. No running for him so far. At least I haven't seen, he hasn't had his pro day to this point of recording. He'll be 23 this year, broke out at age 20, had a 1,000-yard season, not multiple, but he had one. And he's more of a CJ Anderson for me. He's a tough one. I think I could argue to put him a little bit lower, but I think Coleman is going to carve out a big enough role. We saw him doing it in the Power 5. I trust Jonah Coleman here at number 6. Number 5, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Number 5 is going to be Emmett Johnson by way of Nebraska. Came in light and ran slow. Not an elite combination for a guy his size. Again, he was like the Big Ten McCaffrey this year as far as overall opportunities go at Nebraska. 251 rush attempts this year, 46 receptions, 297 touches, and the 37% team total production share, which led the entire draft class at the running back position. I started out with like a Theo Riddick, Selvin Ahmed type of a comp like that. It's a tough comp area to be 5'10", 202 and run slow. And I've ended with a guy that had a very similar run out to him in the Big Ten, well, I guess formerly the Pac-12. But if I read you off the numbers again of what Emmett Johnson gave you, 5'10", 202, ran a 4.56. This other player, 5'9", 192, ran a 4.55, was even drafted in the 4th round. The new comp for Emmett Johnson for me is Bucky Irving. Number 4, Mike Washington Jr. from Arkansas. One that I really, this 4, 3, and 2 are so packed. They're so tight together. And I don't think that there's a tier 2. I think this is like Jeremiah Love tier 1, nobody in tier 2, and then tier 3 is these 3 guys. So number 4 is going to be Mike Washington for now. The historical hit rate on the guy of this size with the lack in production just isn't elite. So I'm going more towards, rubbing some analytics into this thing a little bit more and trusting that these other 2 guys, their projections fit the profile better. Screw it. 3 is going to be Jadarian Price and 2 is going to be Nick Singleton. With Nick Singleton, you have the early breakout. You have injuries. I think you have the mega projection ability with the idea that he's potentially going to try and do a workout the week before the NFL draft. That's what he told us at the NFL Combine. 6 foot, 219 pounds, projected to run in the high 4.3s, low 4.4s. He ran a 4.33 a year ago, set the squat record at Penn State. Like historically, I think that's going to fit for us better. I love the film on Nick Singleton from 2 years ago, Compton to Willis McGahee. And then with Jadarian Price being ahead of Mike Washington, that's a lot of projection. It's a lot of tread on the tires. He came in light, 203, still ran sub 4.5, which, again, isn't like the biggest drive. It's not that fast, but it's fast enough. And I think Jadarian Price can be a guy in a backfield, especially think about like Seattle. If he goes 32 to Seattle, think about that opportunity share he's going to have with the Charbonnet and Emmanuel Wilson. Like he's very capable of being the best back in that trio in Seattle. I like Jadarian Price quite a bit. I think that it's not as hard to see him working out. I think of like a Jerome Ford, a Miles Sanders type when I talk about Jadarian Price. It's just a little bit harder for me with the Mike Washington. I love Mike Washington, 6'1", 223, 4.33. Like I am a massive fan of Mike Washington, but this is a very tight-knit group. And the main, the name of the game is hitting and getting it right. And I think I will get it right more often with the Nick Singleton profile, a little bit more right with the Jadarian profile, but Mike Washington, Jadarian Price, Nick Singleton are just squeezed together in that same tier together. I would take any 3 of these guys on my team in the second round of the NFL draft. And then number 1, of course, the horse, Jeremiah Love, 6 foot tall, 212 pounds, 4.36 running, 19.5 breakout age, 31% of the team's total production with Jadarian Price in the same backfield with Notre Dame. Not a lot needs to be said about Jeremiah Love. He is the Adonis of the class. He is the Noshawn Marino, the Darren McFadden of the class. And I'm a massive fan of the future top 10 pick, Jeremiah Love.